Hello, my name is Chris. I'm an entrepreneurship attorney based in Boulder, Colorado. I help people start companies, draft and review and negotiate agreements, buy and sell companies, file trademarks, and the like. And I'm here today to talk about the new FinCEN reporting requirements from the federal government. These went into effect January 1st, 2024, so they're brand new for most people. The idea here is that the government is trying to prevent money laundering and other bad actions. If you don't know what money laundering is, I recommend watching Breaking Bad, Ozark, or any of the other movies that involve money laundering. But in short, it's just you or somebody trying to hide the source of income. Now, what the government is requiring is that you disclose your beneficial owners, company applicants, and other information about your business. If you have a very simple ownership and management structure, then this is probably going to be a great video for you. If you have a complex management or ownership structure, or if there's anything else weird going on with your company, you need to talk to an attorney. Also, talk to an attorney if this just doesn't make sense to you. If these general tips that I'm providing in this video here are confusing or don't make sense, then you need to find an attorney that can help you. Now, let's talk about how to actually file the new filing. First of all, you're going to go to this website here. This is the FinCEN website. Let me shrink this so you can see the domain. It's fincen.gov/BOI. BOI stands for Beneficial Ownership Information. Of note, make sure you're on the .gov website and not some other website. There are companies you can pay to do this for you, but you can probably do it yourself if your company is simple, like I was saying a minute ago. And if you decide to do it yourself, make sure you're on the .gov website because you're going to be providing a lot of sensitive information about the company and its owners. All right, so what do you do? So once you get on this website here, you're going to begin going through the system. First up is click File a Report using the BOI e-filing system. That'll take you to the e-filing system where you got to click again, click Get Started. Now, you can file a paper report. I don't know why you would do that. I think you should just do all of it online. That's what I did for myself. That's what I recommend to my clients. And you can do that by clicking here, Prepare and Submit a BOIR. And that will take you into the actual form itself. All right, there are 5 fields that you have to go through. The first one here is the type of form that you are actually filing. The first one, and the one that you're probably going to be selecting, is the initial report. This is the very first report your company is filing. And let's talk about when you must file. If your company was created before 2024, so December 31st, 2023 or previously, then you have until the end of 2024 to file your information report. So you have a whole year. If your company is created in the year 2024, so January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, then you have 90 days from the date you create the company to file your report. And just as a future reference, if you create your company on or after January 1st, 2025, then you only have 30 days to file your initial report. Now, that 30 days might change. I'm making this video in February of 2024, and these laws have changed a lot, and the effective dates and so on. So you might want to double check that come 2025, but as of today, that is what the rule says. So in that case, after you create your company, you come in here and you check initial report. If you make a mistake, you can come in here and correct a prior report, or if you need to update a prior report, you can do so with option C there. An update is literally that. It's an update if your address or company name or ownership or management, if any of the information that you submit in this form changes, you have 30 days from the date of the change to come in here and file an update with the federal government. If you think your entity is exempt, you can go through this option here. I'm not going to really get into that here in this video. For most of you, it's going to be an initial report. The next tab is the information about your company itself. First is box 3, which is request to receive a FinCEN ID. This is a unique number they will assign to your business if you check this box. I recommend you do that because I think it will come in handy later. I'm not going to go through foreign pooled investment vehicles. If you have that, you should certainly talk to a lawyer. From here on down, it's just information about the business. So the legal name, that's what's on file with your Secretary of State. It will probably include LLC or INC at the end of the name, and then provide any DBAs that you might have for your business. Next up, you identify what type of tax ID you have for your business, and most likely it's going to be an EIN. That's your employer identification number that you got from the IRS. You provide that number here, and then you can just move on down. Next, they want to know where you actually incorporated your business. So first, check USA. If you incorporated it outside of USA, once again, you should probably talk to a lawyer. But if you're in the USA, you just check that, and then choose the state of formation. It's extremely important to note this is where you formed the company, where you filed the initial organizing documents. This is not necessarily where you operate. Might be the same, probably is the same, but it's where you created the company. Tribal issues are probably not relevant to you, and if they are, again, go talk to an attorney, and then provide an address for your company. This is where your company can actually be found. It's all pretty straightforward information. Okay, the next section of the form is the company applicant section, and the company applicant is the one or two people that drafted and filed the organizing documents for your company. Now, this could be you if you did it yourself, or it could be a lawyer, sometimes an accountant, or somebody else. It's whoever actually filed the forms. And when I say filed the forms, you most likely did this on a Secretary of State website. So you draft the form on the website, you click submit on the website, and that is your organizing document. Now, I want to make a quick note. The first question here, item 16, it says existing reporting company. So if your company existed before January 1st, 2024, just like it says here, then you do not need to fill out this page. And in that case, you just check this box, and the rest of the fields on this page become inactive, because you don't have to report company applicants if your company existed before 2024. But if it was created on or after January 1st, 2024, then you must disclose the company applicants. And like I said, this could be you, your lawyer, or somebody else, depending on who actually filed the organizing documents. So assuming that you have to fill this out, you scroll on down to field 18, and that's going to be the FinCEN ID of company applicant number 1. And you may not have this, and your company applicant may not even have a FinCEN ID. If so, move on down to box 19. But if you do have a FinCEN ID, you can just insert that here, and the purpose is then you don't have to fill out the rest of this information, which is really great. So for example, when I create a new company for a client, I give that client my FinCEN ID so they can just insert that here without having to do the rest. Assuming that you do have to do the rest, it's pretty straightforward information. It's your name and date of birth, and then an address where you can be found, either residential or business. Down here, moving into box number 30 and below, is where you have to actually upload a copy of an ID to prove who you are. For most of you, a driver's license is going to work just fine. You select driver's license, type in the driver's license number, talk about where you got the license, like which state, and then most importantly, upload a copy of the license. You can also use a passport or something else. Like I said, for most of you, driver's license is going to be the easiest. All right, moving on to beneficial owners. These are literally the owners of the company, but also can include people like managers of the company, upper level, C-level executives, and so on. But if your company is really simple and you only have a couple owners and a couple people managing the company who are also the owners, then this is not overly complex. But I want to read for you the definition of beneficial owner, because it's really quite broad. It's anyone who directly or indirectly exercises substantial control over your company, which means they don't even have to be an owner. They just have to exercise substantial control, or owns or controls at least 25% of the ownership interests of your company. Now, if your company and management structure is complex, like I said earlier, you should talk to a lawyer. But if it's simple, and if it's just one owner and one person managing it, or two owners and both of them manage it, this is pretty simple. But talk to a lawyer if you have specific questions. Okay, so for each of the owners, and if you have more than one, of course, you need to add multiple. But for each one, you're just going to go through this field. If it's a child, you might check this box, but I'm not going to get into that. If you have questions about child ownership or management, you should talk to a lawyer. Once again, if this person has a FinCEN ID, you can enter it, and then you don't have to fill out the rest of the info. But assuming you don't have a FinCEN ID yet, then you do need to fill it all out. If you think you're exempt, once again, talk to a lawyer. I'm not going to go through that. The rest of the information is just, again, information about you, the owner. And keep in mind, it could be just a person who manages. So it's going to be the individual or entity name of the owner, the date of birth of the owner, an address for the owner, just like the company applicant field. And then again, just like the company applicant field, some kind of an identification for that individual or entity. Most of you, if it's an individual owner, you're going to select driver's license again, provide the number, and upload a copy. You can also check passport or something else, but again, I think driver's license is probably going to be the most commonly used for most of you. Then you can move on to the last page, which is literally just a submission page, and this is very easy. You type in your email address and the name of the person filing the form. You check the box to, well, I'm getting an error because I didn't fill anything out, but you would check the box to certify that everything you submitted is correct, and then you just submit the form at the bottom, and that's all you have to do. Now, I do want to just reemphasize, this is for simple companies with simple ownership structures and simple management structures. If anything about your company is not simple, as I have described it, then you need to seek advice, probably from an attorney or an accountant or somebody else who can help you. The information in this video is solely intended for those simple types of companies. And for all of you that have that simple structure, I really hope that this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions or want to reach out, you can always reach out to me. My email address is chris@pixellaw.com. I cannot provide legal advice to you unless you are formally a client of mine. But if you have any general questions about this video or anything else, feel free to reach out anytime. Thanks.